Good evening, everyone. Welcome to MBA Karo. This video is going to be a one-shot revision video for CMAT Innovation and Entrepreneurship. In this, we are going to cover 100 questions, including both static as well as current affairs based questions, which would be quite relevant for CMAT 2024. So, this is going to be a marathon session, a long one, and we'll be doing 100 questions. So please do like this video and share it with your friends who are preparing for CMAT. Share it in different groups which you are a part of, and like where uh, you find aspirants preparing for CMAT. So let's start with this session. I hope your preparation is going good. The last day to register is 23rd, so please do register on time. And if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. In case you are preparing for CMAT and are looking for a crash course, so we have a course which covers CMAT as well as it was meant for all the exams. So it does cover CMAT also. So if you wish to enroll in the same, you can enroll in it. And we have launched a test series also for CMAT. So, in case you are looking for mock test, you want to prepare for it, so please do you may enroll in this. The link is given in the description of this video. Okay, so let's start with this. So here's the first question: who patented the idea of dynamite? So I'm sure this is relevant for GK as well. Okay, none of you know. Interesting. It is uh, Alfred Nobel, the person after whom the Nobel Prize are awarded. And so he patented this dynamite. So that is quite an important question for general awareness as well. And when we talk about innovation, you talk about invention also. So do read about the list of famous inventors of the world. Okay, so here's the next question. A combination of multiple business entities operating in entirely different industries under one corporate group is called. So when you have multiple businesses under one business group, like you have, let's say, Reliance, right? Reliance has different kind of industries. Okay, and it works in different industries. Similarly, Tata, Aditya Birla Group and all these run different kind of industries. So what are these industries called? What is this thing called? So a group of companies that are working under different industries, the complete house is called conglomerate. Okay, so where you have different businesses running under one corporate group. Okay, next question. A high net worth individual who funds startups at the early stages, often with their own money, is called what? High net worth individual, like HNI also they call it, who funds in startups at a very early stage. What are those people called? You can take examples of like celebrities, okay, and even these sharks and all, and the ones which you watch in Shark Tank India. These are called angel investors. Okay, so the qualities, they are high net worth individual and they use their own money. Okay, The flywheel model was given by which organization? Flywheel model. Never heard of it? Flywheel model. So flywheel model is a business model which says that like if you focus on customers, okay, so you can search for it on Google and you can get the image also. Okay, so it is like when you focus on customers, everything will improve. There will be more traffic on your website. You will have more sellers. Okay, so that is it was given by Amazon. So Jeff Bezos devised this model called flywheel model. Okay, so you can read about it. Like there is like flywheel ऐसे बना होता है. There are four items, and here you start with customers. Then you have more traffic. Okay, you have more sellers. Then you have more products, right? And then there is low cost, and this keeps the customers happy. So that is called flywheel model. So it was given by Jeff Bezos. Okay, here's the next question. Wilbur and Orville Wright, the Wright brothers, known for inventing, building, and flying the world's first successful motor operated airplane, belong to which country? Again, one of the famous inventors of the world, Wilbur and Oliver Wright. So these were Americans. So they were brothers who are known for this. Okay, next question. Micro Units Development and Refinance Agency, which is Mudra, is a wholly owned subsidiary of which of these organizations? So do read about different government schemes. Okay, so Mudra is a yojana like Prime Minister Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. Okay, and it provides loans for MSMEs. Okay, Mudra it is giving used to give loans for MSMEs. So अगर थोड़ा सा भी आपको इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के बारे में पता होगा यू कुड टेक अ गेस एंड आंसर द राइट आंसर इज सिडबी okay small industrial development banks of India so that is mudra is a scheme of sidbi okay so do read about government schemes so in this video we will not only discuss questions I will also tell what are the relevant things for the examination for example government schemes related to startups is quite important. What is the maximum grant aid capital of Atal Incubation Centers? Again, a government project, Atal Incubation Center. What is an incubation center? Incubation center or incubators is a place where startups can do R&D, okay, and they are assisted for innovation. They can have any sort of uh, uh, like they are given financial assistance, they are given land to operate, etc., machinery, etc., is uh, provided. So how much is the maximum grant aid capital that can get? So it basically Atal incubation centers promote tech startups, okay, and where heavy machinery, heavy investment is needed. Right? Let's say space technology startup. So of course they will need a lot of uh, machinery. They will need a lot of investment. Okay. अगर आप स्पेस रिसर्च करो डेफिनेटली आप इतना पैसा खुद को नहीं लगा सकते तो these will assist in all such scenarios. So the maximum capital they can give is 10 crores. ये सब चीजें पढ़ लेना, अलग अलग स्कीम्स किसकी लिमिट कितनी होती है, राइट, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट लाइक फॉर ड्यूरेशंस, टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस, बिकॉज यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट questions from this. Which of the following is not a key component of a business model? Which of these is not a key component of business model? Target market, revenue streams, marketing and sales strategy, board of directors. This question is related to the structure of a company or basically a business. Right? Which of these is not a key component? Target market, revenue streams, marketing and sales strategy, board of directors. See, there will be certain questions for which you need to use common sense, right? If you have some business awareness, like basic businesses के बारे में पता है, how businesses operate, etc., you should be able to answer. This is one such question. See, target market is a component, right? You need to have a target market. Otherwise, who will you target? Right, so that is an important revenue stream. You need to make some revenue streams means different methods through which you make money. So let's say let's take example of Zomato. Okay, Zomato has different revenue streams. One is basically they charge delivery fees. Okay, they will charge from the restaurants who have set up on their platform, right? They have that that review system of restaurants, right? They have tie up with those places. Okay, then they have like acquired Blinkit also. So they have different revenue streams. So any company will have some revenue streams, so that is a must. Marketing and sales strategy is a must, right? Because without strategy, how can you function a business? But board of directors is not a key component. Not necessary that you have a board of directors. A person can run a company on his own also, or there are few people, but not a board of directors. Which of these companies recently completed an acquisition of video game giant Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion? So it is one of the biggest acquisitions in the history. $68.7 billion, very huge amount. A video game company Activision Blizzard. So it has different Call of Duty and Candy Crush, right? There are a lot of big companies. Okay, big games that this company has. A Call of Duty है, ये दो तो मुझे याद है. There are a lot many more games you can search for it. So it was acquired by Microsoft. ये one of the biggest acquisitions. अच्छा, करंट अफेयर्स में क्या इंपॉर्टेंट है? करंट में आपका आएगा रीसेंट M&As, रीसेंट मर्जर एंड एक्विजिशन. ठीक है, और अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट लाइक इंडियन स्टार्टअप्स के बारे में पढ़ लेना, लाइक व्हाट हु आर द डिफरेंट फाउंडर्स. ठीक है, कौन सी कंपनी किसकी है. ठीक है, जो शार्क टैंक में आते हैं एंड अदर स्टार्टअप्स व्हिच आर वर्किंग ऑन दिस, राइट. All right, so let's move to the next question. Online grocery delivery is an example of which sort of innovation? So there are four kinds of innovation. So I have a series of videos, right? If you want to learn the theory, I have a series of videos which I uploaded last year. ठीक है, CMAT IND करके आप मेरे उसमें playlist है, combat CMAT करके. In that I've explained all these things. So there are two things: technology and market. Based on this, there are four kinds of innovation: new, existing, existing. This is called incremental. This is called architecture. This is called disruptive. and this is radical. So what happens in these kind of innovations, different kind of innovations is incremental innovation means the market is existing, the technology is existing, slight minor change in it, right? For example, let's say आपका iPhone का नया वर्जन आ जाता है, ठीक है? Let's say iPhone 16 आ गया, right? So it is incremental innovation. पहले से market है, people are already buying, right? There is slight change in the product, okay, or service. So that is called incremental innovation. Okay, architectural innovation is like technology existed, but the products are new. So for example, like if we talk about let's say uh, there are certain technologies which existed long back, right, but was not implemented. So for example, electric vehicle I would say is architectural innovation. Electric vehicle concept तो पहले आ चुका था, right, but it was maybe it was not so feasible, right, and now they are like increasing because of the cost factor or because of any factor. Technology पहले आ जाती है, but market में काफी बाद में implement होता है because of any reasons, right, primarily due to cost or like it is difficult. Like for example, let's say if some hydrogen based fuel is used for vehicles in the future. Okay, so hydrogen based fuel to बन चुका है, but it is not being used right now heavily. So that is called architecture innovation. Technology comes first, but market is new. And disruptive happens when the market exists, but technology is entirely new. So for example, this online grocery is will be a disruptive innovation. So people were buying grocery. Okay, so then technology new came and people were is to this. Okay, now radical is new tech and new market, right? So what it means is if nothing existing had before, like for example internet, that will be classified as a radical innovation. Or like most recent would be artificial intelligence, right? There was no technology before that and people were not using those products or something. Like internet था नहीं तो लोग internet use ही नहीं करते थे, right? So that is called radical. That is the biggest form of innovation. Okay, no, it is not. Top is radical. Radical is the biggest form of innovation. Okay, disruptive is people are using certain things. Like Netflix is also a disruptive innovation. People were watching movies, but they were going to theaters and not watching. Right now, they have a new way. Like Uber, people were booking cabs, but like new technology came wherein you could book a cab using your phone. So that is called disruptive innovation. Right. So online grocery is disruptive. I hope you are enjoying this session thus far. Please don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends who are preparing for CMAT. Which of these is not a quality of an entrepreneur? Okay, ये common sense based question होता है which anyone can answer. So out of 20 questions, there will be at least 3-4 such questions which require very basic common sense, and I believe anyone can answer those. So which of these should not be a quality? Like is not a quality. Creativity is a must, right? One should be creative. Self motivation is needed, right? Because entrepreneurs are not someone who are pushed by others. ये नहीं कि उन्हें किसी का motivational video देखना पड़ता है. जो entrepreneur होते हैं खुद से motivate होते हैं, right? They are self motivated. Don't need to watch any videos. Okay, rigidity is not a quality. They have to be flexible. Okay, rigid नहीं होना चाहिए. If they are rigid, then they are not going to succeed. They need to be flexible. They need to be learning new things, right? They need to accept failures, etc. And risk inclination is a must. A startup that does not take funding is called dash startup. Okay. हो सकता है such kind of a question might be asked. If a startup does not take any funding, what is it called? So there's a term for it that is called bootstrap. Bootstrapped startup is a startup that does not take any funding. So if a person uses his own money to begin a company and run the company, that is called bootstrapped company. Which of these can be an entry barrier for a telecom company in India? Entry barrier क्या होता है? Like let's say if you are starting a business, what are those barriers you might have to face? Government regulations, distribution channels, capital requirement, all of the above. Again, common sense based question. Like if you have basic uh, common sense, you should be able to answer this question. And if you've seen the past papers also, चार पांच क्वेश्चन तो ऐसे होते हैं जिसके लिए आपको कुछ पढ़ना भी नहीं पड़ता, बस बेसिक आपको commonly कोई भी आंसर कर सकता है. So government regulations is an entry barrier, right? There is try. Okay, so it has a lot of regulations, you have to follow those. Then there are distribution channels, right? So not only just setting up of towers and all, right, but also distribution of sims and all those things. So you need distribution channels. Capital requirement, very high capital requirement is there, right? It is not, it is one of the most capital intensive businesses that can one can set up. Okay, so all these are entry barriers. Okay, Geo surpassed Wallet and became the dominator in this market. So Geo, of course, regulations they must have met, right? Distribution channels, they already had big money, so they could you create those distribution channels. And Reliance का तो पहले से business था तो different. They already had access to distribution channels and all, right? Capital requirement they had a lot, so they could surpass it. But others, it is very difficult to set up this business. The invention of cloud technology is an example of what sort of innovation? So we just saw the four types of innovations based on technology and market. So if you are developing like the cloud technology which was developed, so Airtel is more, but Airtel has been into business for so long, right? Like you cannot just beat someone that easily. Okay, so cloud technology is going to be a radical innovation because it was an entirely new technology. The market did not exist for it. Okay, new tech, new market. So these are radical innovations. So disruptive basically is something which changes the way people do things, but radical is something which entirely brings something new, like uh, generative AI. That is radical technology. After starting instant delivery service, which firm rebranded itself as Blinkit? Okay, so as I said that also know about Indian startups. उससे काफी questions आ सकते हैं, and I've put a lot of questions based on Indian startups and Indian entrepreneurs. Okay, which of these companies has rebranded itself as Blinkit? और ये कहें कि Blinkit का पहले नाम क्या था? So earlier it was known as Grofers. पहले Grofers नाम था, now they've changed to Blinkit. So earlier they used to have normal delivery, like they used to deliver groceries back then also, but it was a normal delivery one. Okay, but then they started with instant 10-minute delivery thing, and they named themselves to Blinkit. The exclusive and assignable legal right given to the originator for a fixed number of years to print, publish, perform, film, or record literary, artistic, or musical material is called what? So, congrats Sachin for converting Micah. So, exclusive and assignable legal right. Okay, assignable means you can sell the right to others, right? For fixed number of years to print, publish, perform, film, or record literary, artistic, or musical material. Okay, that is called copyright. ठीक है, तो जैसे म्यूजिक होता है या आर्ट या फोटोग्राफ है, राइट, ऑल दोज थिंग्स आर अंडर कॉपीराइट. ओके, सो आई ब्रीफली एक्सप्लेन दीज थिंग्स. राइट, कंसोर्टियम कुछ नहीं होता, राइट. देयर आर थ्री फोर थिंग्स: पेटेंट, कॉपीराइट, ट्रेडमार्क, और ट्रेड सीक्रेट इज आल्सो देयर. So trademark is basically like logo, a tagline, or some product design or something. Okay, that is trademark. Copyright is this artistic or literary thing, and patent is used for basically for scientific invention. Yes, copyright is the right answer. Startup India initiative was launched in which year? So when was this? Now this is important because like related to Indian startup schemes. So it started in 2016. Yes, 2016 is the right answer. The initial set of users of a product or technology is called what? So like if there is a technology, it follows a bell curve. Sorry, I'm not good at diagrams. So this is 2.5%. Okay, this is 13.5%. So it makes 16%, then 34%, then 34%, and then last 16%. Right? So जो सबसे पहले आता है, those are called innovators. Okay. Then next set of users are called early adopters. The ones who start using from the very beginning, they are called innovators. Let's say like chat gpt came. Okay, so there must have been some people who started using back then itself, मतलब जब आया था starting से use करना शुरू कर दिया था. Like those are called innovators. Like for example, अब उसमें video creation and all is also being added. So the ones who start at the very beginning stage are called innovators. Then early adopters. Then you have early majority. Then you have late majority. Okay, when half of the people have already started using it, they are called late majority. And last people are called laggards. Okay, so these are like qualities. If we talk about, you will find young people as innovators. Right? They are the earliest one to use things. Quicker is a free classifieds and online marketplace that helps users to sell, buy, or rent stuff from other people. What kind of business model does it have? So, you must have heard of Quicker, like OLX sort of website, similar to OLX, competitor of it. So, wherein people can sell, rent, sell, or stuff from one another. What it is called? It is called C2C, right? Customer to customer. So, D2C is direct to customer. So direct to customers means like let's say if we talk about certain companies which have their own supply chain, ठीक है, and they sell directly to customers जो कोई और वेबसाइट से नहीं मिलता. ये जैसे कुछ साइट होंगे जैसे like if you talk about this, ये कौन सा मिल्क आता है, कंट्री डिलाइट. कंट्री डिलाइट आपको ऐसे शॉप वगैरह नहीं मिलेगा, नॉर्मली नहीं मिलेगा, राइट. सो दे आर सेलिंग डायरेक्टली टू कस्टमर्स. दे हैव देयर ओन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, मतलब उनकी वेबसाइट होगी या ऐप होगी. दे विल सेल डायरेक्टली. यू विल नॉट फाइंड इन अदर स्टोर्स एंड ऑल. दैट इज कॉल्ड D2C. ओके, B2C इज बिजनेस टू कस्टमर. सो नॉर्मल जो ट्रेडिशनल बिजनेस मॉडल होते हैं, लाइक पीपल सेलिंग, लेट्स से यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट मैगी. Maggie या कोई chocolate or anything which you normally buy from shops, because it is business to customer and it comes through different, like वही आदमी मैगी भी बेच रहा होगा, वही आदमी other noodles भी बेच रहा होगा, and they are selling a lot of stuff. Okay, so they use a common distribution channel which are used by several other companies or products. Okay, B2B is business to business. So for example, like TCS. TCS does not sell anything to a person. ठीक है? TCS will like it has clients as companies. ठीक है? वो किसी आदमी के लिए सॉफ्टवेयर नहीं बना रही. They are making software for different thing. So online exams, if you write like lot of online exams are conducted by TCS. They have that interface and all developed by TCS. So those are business to business models. Okay, what is the first stage in concerns based adoption model? So this is a model of innovation, and under which people slowly gather information about the innovation and start using a product. You can check it out on internet and read about the different stages and how it works. So the first stage in this is awareness. So first stage is awareness. A customer needs to get aware of like the product and then start using it. Okay, I hope you are enjoying this session. In case you are looking for mock test or are looking for a course, we do have the same, so just letting you know, in case you or someone else who wishes to enroll in it, you can tell them this. Which day is observed as National Startup Day? Important question. ऐसे इंडियन स्टार्टअप एनवायरनमेंट से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन आपसे पूछे जा सकते हैं. National Startup Day. Heard of this? Yes, it is observed on 16 January. So 16 January 2016 को this Startup India scheme was launched. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए उसे नेशनल स्टार्टअप डे मनाया जाता है. सो यू कैन जस्ट रिमेंबर 1616. 1616 याद रहेगा तो याद रहेगा. ओके, which of the following cannot be considered as a trademark of a company? Easy question, and I expect all of you to respond to it. So product name is a trademark. Okay, slogan is a trademark. Okay, for example, only McDonald's can use "I'm loving it." Right? No other product can use that same slogan. Okay, shape is also a trademark in some cases. For example, Coke bottle. Okay, it has a distinct shape. No other thing can like they have created a trademark for it. So अगर कोई trademark बनाता है तब बनता है, ऐसा नहीं कि आपने बोल दिया कि ये trademark होगा, ऐसा नहीं होता. But price can never be a trademark. You can sell a lot of products can be sold at the same price, the competitive products as well. The practice of funding a company by raising money from a large number of people is called what? Funding a company by raising money from large number of people. So this is usually done by like NGOs. Okay? Usually in case of NGOs it is done. It is called crowdfunding. So under this, what happens is, let's say usually investors, you take one or two investors, but like these companies, what they do is they take money from pool money from large number of people for some social cause. Okay, so that is called crowdfunding. Which Indian group has tied up with global beauty giant Sephora to operate the beauty chains stores in India? ये तो पता होना चाहिए. I expect all of you to know this. A very important thing from current affairs. CMAT में आई एंड ही नहीं होता तो जीके में ये सवाल पूछ सकते थे एज अ करंट अफेयर्स क्वेश्चन. Which Indian group has tied up with Sephora? अच्छा, does anyone know, especially the girls should be knowing about these beauty products? Sephora brand है किसकी? Sephora कंपनी किसकी है? Yes, the right answer is Reliance Retail. Right, so Sephora जो रिहाना की कंपनी है, right? Plus beauty products. She came to Anant Ambani's pre-wedding for that same reason. Okay, so all those people who came to that event had some business deal with Mr. Ambani. Okay, so Reliance Retail has acquired the rights to sell these products in India. Okay, so must know. क्या पता ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछ जाए सेफोरा किसकी ब्रांड है. ठीक है, इसलिए पता होना चाहिए. Okay, Reliance Retail is the right answer. Multiplier grants scheme is a scheme initiated by which government department? So MGS, a multiplier grant scheme, is for R&D purposes. ठीक है, अब हिंट दे दिया कि R&D purposes के लिए होती है. So तब आंसर करना. So do read about different government schemes related to Indian startups. Yeah, that is important. उससे एक दो क्वेश्चन पक्का आएंगे out of these 20. So MGS और multiplier grant scheme basically R&D के लिए होती है और tech products के लिए होती है usually. So it is under METI, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. ठीक है, जब बता दिया था कि R&D के लिए होती है, so it is under this, not MSME. Not everything is under MSME. ठीक है, not necessarily that every business is a MSME business. Government also promotes tech startups. Starlink is a satellite internet constellation operated by. So again, some innovative products, businesses, etc. Not only in India, across globe, you should be aware of. So Starlink, have you heard of this? Satellite business, satellite internet. That is by Mr. Elon Musk. SpaceX owns it. SpaceX has this internet business called Starlink. Satellite internet they provide. Which of the following is an example of imitation? So, in terms of innovation, there are three terms. First is invention, imitation, and third is innovation. Okay, what is imitation? So even if you do not know this imitation, you can use common sense and know the meaning of imitation. The word imitation. Imitation means copy. Okay, so when you copy another business or product, that is called imitation. A company coming with a new version of the software, it is not imitation. It is your own improvement in your own product. Okay, a new company launching a brand of aloe vera gel to compete with an existing player, that is imitation. You are copying something. And जो प्रोडक्ट ऑलरेडी है आप उसकी कॉपी बना रहे हो सिमिलर प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे हो दैट इज कॉल्ड इमिटेशन 30-minute delivery of medicine, this is a sort of innovation. Innovation is something when you use technology or improvement in the current process to change the business, the way business is done, or deliver, create a new sort of product using some technology, or it could be some process based innovation also. So that is called innovation. Invention is like this is a company developing a vaccine for a new variant of coronavirus. That is called invention. Invention is basically a new discovery. ठीक है आप पहली बार कोई चीज बना रहे हो दैट इज कॉल्ड इन्वेंशन ओके इमिटेशन इज जस्ट कॉपी इनोवेशन इज इंप्रूविंग व्हाट इज एग्जिस्टिंग ठीक है आप सिंपली कॉपी कर लेते हो दैट इज इमिटेशन यू आर नॉट इंप्रूविंग थिंग्स which of these is or are focus areas of innovation so if we talk about the different focus areas of innovation one is product innovation yeah, process even innovation value innovation. Okay, so these are all focus areas: process innovation, value innovation. Okay, then product is of course there, but time innovation is no such term. Okay, so only one and two are the correct ones. Okay, so there are some six, seven different terms. These are few of them: process, value, product. Then management innovation. ठीक है अगर आप कंपनी में कोई ऐसे ऑपरेशनल चेंजेस ला रहे हो दैट इज कॉल्ड another sort of innovation. Leadership innovation, etc. These are some sorts of innovation. The first official equity funding stage of a company is called what? First funding, official equity funding. What is that called? That is called seed funding. सबसे पहले सीड फंडिंग होती है फिर उसके बाद सीरीज ए आती है सीरीज बी एंड सो ऑन द फंडिंग गोस सो द फर्स्ट ऑफिशियल फंडिंग दैट यू रिसीव इज कॉल्ड seed funding. What is the purpose of a business plan? Again, as I said that there are some questions which do not require any preparation. ठीक है जस्ट आप जाके आंख बंद करके आंसर कर सकते हो बहुत इजीली कॉमन सेंस यूज करना है पर्पस ऑफ अ बिजनेस प्लान व्हाट डज अ बिजनेस प्लान डू व्हाई इट इज नीडेड secure funding from investors? No, not the purpose. Establish partnerships with other companies, provide an overview of companies' financial performance. That is not a business plan. The business plan basically it talks about companies' goals, strategy, financial projections, etc. That is called business plan. Okay, performance तो बाद में आएगी ना पहले तो plan बनाना पड़ेगा. So that is what is business plan. I hope you are enjoying this session, so please don't forget to like this video. Let's move to the next question. Which of these is a characteristic of an organization that promotes innovation? Again, something which I expect you to answer, even if you have not read things in detail. So organization that promotes innovation. Now what happens these days is lot of organizations promote innovation. They want that the employees are more innovative. Okay, they come up with innovative ideas for process improvement, for product improvement, etc. So they promote innovation in their organization. So they train employees for creativity. Yes, there are training sessions. They reward innovation with engaging work. So if someone is creative in the company, comes up with innovative ideas, okay, so they give them some engaging work. They promote innovation as an organizational value. So they have a value in the organization promoting innovation. So these are all the characteristics of an organization that promotes innovation. So there are a lot of organizations that big tech companies like Google, right, Microsoft, all these are known for innovation. So they have all these things ingrained in their culture. Which of the following is a startup accelerator scheme by the government of India? There are two terms, there are two things. One is incubator, one is accelerator. Okay. What is the difference between incubator and accelerator is incubator is used for like basically अगर कोई company exist ही नहीं करती, right? So if a company does not exist, it wants to do R&D on a product. For that purpose, incubators are there. Accelerators are like if a company is already doing, right, it has a small scale business, it wants to expand its business, so that is called accelerator. So there is a difference between incubator and accelerator. Okay, the right answer to this is समृद्ध, it is incubator. ठीक है, अभी हमने बात की थी अटल इंक्यूबेशन स्कीम. सो इट इज एन इंक्यूबेटर स्कीम. इट्स का फुल फॉर्म होता है स्टार्टअप एक्सेलरेटर. ठीक है, ऑफ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ MEIT, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Okay, and then innovation development uh, for our use of the product के लिए product innovation development and growth. क्योंकि उन्हें कुछ हिंदी के वर्ड्स बनाने होते हैं, so instead of taking the first letters they use the other letters also. So that is the full form of samrit. Okay, so it's an accelerator scheme of the government. Accelerator means if a company is already existing, you help promote its growth. Okay, and incubator is usually at an R&D stage, like where you have an idea but you are yet to create a prototype. So that is the difference between these two. Which of the following is not true about a venture capitalist? So you must also understand the difference between angel investor and venture capitalists. Which of these is not true? It belongs to a company or firm. Yes, it like venture capitalist firms are there. It offers financial as well as strategic help. Yes, it provides both financial as well as strategic. It does not get a seat on the board of directors. That is false. Okay, so there's a difference between venture capitalist and angel investor. ठीक है, angel investor generally board of directors में नहीं जाता है. Okay, not always, but mostly. Okay, so venture capitalist always takes a seat on the board of directors. So if you are going for a VC, they will have a seat on board of directors, and then they have basically they will want to exercise control over the company. Okay, which of these firms has not yet gone for an IPO? Okay, Indian startup environment you should be aware of. Nika 197 communication is Paytm. ठीक है, नाइका और इन सब का आईपीओ हुआ था. नाइका का आई गेस 2022 में 23 में हुआ है. ओके, स्विगी इज येट टू गो फॉर एन आईपीओ. सो इट इज द न्यूज दैट इन 2024 दे मे गो फॉर एन आईपीओ. ठीक है, जोमेटो का हो चुका है. स्विगी इज येट टू गो फॉर एन आईपीओ. ऑलराइट, लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. व्हाट डज एलएलसी स्टैंड फॉर? ठीक है, तो ऐसे एलएलसी एलएलपी ये पता नहीं चाहिए. ऐसे फुल फॉर्म्स पूछ सकते हैं रिलेटेड टू डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ फर्म स्ट्रक्चर्स. So LLC means limited liability company. Okay, where there are limited number of that's a limited number of stakeholders in that. The last few users of a product or technology are called. So have we already discussed here? I told you about that product life cycle. What are the different set of users? Okay, the last set of users are called laggards, जो last में use करते हैं. Off Business is an industrial goods and services procurement platform. It provides raw materials to MSMEs. What kind of business model does it have? So I explained you different business models. They have described one of the companies. You need to tell that which business model does it have. Easy one to is, what does it do? It provides raw materials to MSMEs. किसको sell कर रही है? Businesses को sell कर रही है, right? So if a business is selling to a business, it is a B2B company. Business to business, right? So if you provide raw materials to a business or provide some consultation service or anything to a business, that is called B2B business. Which of the following is not a common characteristic of a startup? Not a common characteristic. Okay, commonly नहीं होता ऐसा. So there can be exceptions. Small team of founders, a focus on innovation and disruption, long track of record of success, clear business model and revenue streams. So long track record कैसे हो सकता है? ठीक है, long track record of success. Startups may or may not be successful, right? And may be running for a very short duration. So this is not a common characteristic. Dash is a version of a new product with just enough features to satisfy early adopters and provide valuable feedback for future development. So when you talk about innovation, when you create an innovative product, आपने कई बार सुना होगा बीटा वर्जन होता है. Okay, lot of times you must have heard that there is a beta version of this product. So they try to test with few users, right? That is called beta testing. Okay, so they create a very basic feature of product, and later on, like when more people like when people tell suggest changes in it, improvements, etc., they improve the product. Okay, initially they create a beta product, a sample product for only for few customers. Once they get customer feedback, they improve it. So that is called MVP, minimum viable product. Okay, all right, so let's move to the next question. Who among the following recently sold his entire stake in 197 Communications Limited? That is Paytm. So current affairs could be tested in GK also. Who among the following sold his entire stake? and that was like some big amount, 1,000 crore plus का stake था. Is that person? So it is Warren Buffett. It is his investment firm. Berkshire Hathaway had significant stake in the company, some 1,300 crores or something. So they sold the entire stake of it. So that was a news, and you must know this important current affairs. I hope you are enjoying this session. So please do like this session, and if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. All of the following are broad categories of external forces except. So except means three are external forces, one is internal force in a business, of course. Economic forces, operations, technological environment, competitive forces. Right? So operations is internal. Okay, economic forces you cannot control. Right? These are external forces. Technological environment, new technology arrives, that is not in your hand. Right? So that is an external force. Competitive forces are external. So whatever is your hand is operations. That is internal force. The term entrepreneur came from which language? ऐसे तो last year आ चुका exam में. Entrepreneur came from the French word entrepreneur. Some entrepreneur, some sort of word is there. Okay, last year it was asked in the exam. When the multiplicity of environments becomes too complex to handle, international entrepreneurs often dash. So, if the business becomes too complex to handle and you are an international entrepreneur, what do they do? So if the businesses become complex, so they decentralize operations. Okay, so they will assign different operations to different countries uh, internally to those countries so that it becomes easy to manage the business. Right? Who is the founder of Opdoor, a startup that provides end-to-end solutions to e-commerce firms? So Opdoor is a new startup, and recently in news. ऐसे जो इंडियन स्टार्टअप से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस डेफिनेटली आएंगे सो करंट अफेयर्स like in this I've covered all these aspects you can expect or like apart from just these questions the things that I'm telling you to read that will help you do well on this exam ये आईएनडी बहुत टॉप चीज नहीं है लोगों के ठीक ठाक मार्क्स आ जाते हैं बेसिक चीजें पढ़ के भी So out of this, so this is a new startup by Binny Bansal. ठीक है जो पहले your Flipkart का founder था, right? He left the company Flipkart and then now he has started his new startup called Opdoor. Which of the following is not a source of idea generation? Idea generation is here refers to innovation, innovative idea generation. So the right answer is training. Okay, so consumers, you can get ideas from consumers. You can take business ideas from competitors. You can do brainstorming. Okay, but training is not a source. Like you cannot train people to generate ideas. Which was the first Indian unicorn startup? Unicorn in itself, they've asked multiple times. Unicorn basically means $1 billion valuation. Okay, now there एक नया टर्म भी आ गया डेकाकॉन. ठीक है, डेकाकॉन मीन्स $10 बिलियन वैल्यूएशन. क्या भी नया टर्म है. यूनिकॉर्न तो बहुत पुराना टर्म हो गया. Okay, it's a static thing and important to know because first is always important. The first was in movie. Okay, although it not exponentially grow post that. ये कई लोगों को तो नाम ही नहीं पता होगा इन मूवी करके कोई कंपनी. So it was the first Indian company to reach $1 billion valuation. In project management, EST stands for. So there could be some questions related to project management as well in businesses. हेक्टा कौन तो अभी कोई नहीं आया. डेका कौन आया. So EST means earliest start time. Okay, so earliest time when you start a particular process, that is called EST, earliest start time. What protects the intellectual property created by inventors? There's an inventor. Inventor means you are coming up with a entirely new discovery. What is that IPR you will use? For inventions, we use patents. So कोई भी invention होता है, there's a patent that is used. Which types of businesses go for Series F round of funding? So you must have heard of Series A like this. Which business will go for Series F round of funding? So basically, like you have seed funding, then you have Series A, Series B. ऐसे करके A, B, C चलती हैं. Right. So B is greater than A, C is greater than B, so on it goes. There is no such defined कि ये last round होना चाहिए. ठीक है, मतलब कोई A तक जाएगी, कोई B तक जाती है. Some go to C also. ठीक है. There are very few companies who go beyond that. So usually, if a company is going for Series F round, that means it requires a lot of money for its expansion. Okay. So these are capital extensive businesses. यूजुअली सीरीज ए बी सी के बियॉन्ड बहुत रेयर जाती हैं. डी भी बहुत कम जाएंगे. ई इवन मोर रेयर. इफ अ कंपनी इज गोइंग फॉर सीरीज एफ, दैट मींस it requires a lot of capital. So capital extensive businesses will go for series F round. What is the name of India's first AI unicorn? ये तो शायद सबको पता होगा. A lot of it was in news also. First AI unicorn. It is found by Bhavish Agarwal. And he has three unicorns. Right, first he started Ola Cabs, then he started Ola Electric. Okay, now it is Krutrim. So it is an AI platform. Okay, like ChatGPT है बहुत खराब सा. Okay, but still it is unicorn. Okay, Okay, in case you are preparing for CMAT and are looking for mock tests, you can take our mock tests. The link is given in the description of this video. So let's move to the next question. Which of the following is an example of disruptive innovation? So we did discuss about these. Like अभी starting में अगर जो लोग starting से देख रहे हैं उन्हें देखा होगा, we did discuss about the different four formats of innovation. So what is disruptive innovation? Which of these is disruptive? So it would be electric cars, isn't it? Cars were already there. ठीक है, market था, technology नहीं आ गई, and then electric cars would be disruptive. Who acquired 50-year-old iconic beverage brand Campa Cola? Campa Cola, it was quite popular back in the uh, like soft drinks. It's a 50-year-old brand, right? So काफी पुराना brand है, and it was quite popular during the 80s and 90s. It used to be an like it's an indigenous brand. So ठीक है, of course नाम कोका कोला से कॉपी करके रखा होगा, but it used to be quite popular. But then gradually its fame decreased. Okay, so it was acquired by Reliance Retail. The T in pastel analysis refers to. So whenever you run a business, right, you do pastel analysis. So T is technological. So this is analysis done not only to start a business, but if you have to expand to other place, right? Or you need to launch a new product, you do a pastel analysis, right? So you think of these six factors. Are these factors in your favor? Like for example, political factors. So maybe you are launching a product in some company where there are some government regulations that might not allow it. Okay. Economic environment, right? Are the people affluent enough to buy things? So let's say if you like store like अगर आप कोई premium बैग्स का स्टोर किसी tier 2 सिटी में खोल दे, like tier 3 सिटी में खोल दे या विलेज में खोल दे, people will not buy it, right? So it should match the economic conditions of the people. Okay. It should be socially acceptable, right? So let's say there are certain products which are now available in India but were not available some time back because people were not that open minded. Okay, so that also you need to think. Then technological factors, let's say like India is technologically advanced, right? But if you are, let's say if you go to some African country and start selling 5G phones, people will not buy them because no 5G technology nahi hogi. Okay. Then legal environment, is something legal in a particular place or not? Okay, so let's say if you set up like brewery in a dry state, that's a foolish thing because dry state है वहाँ legally allowed ही नहीं है, आप नहीं कर सकते. So you have to think of those legal factors. Environmental, right? Will there be environmental impact or not? And other things you need to keep these things in mind. So that is called pastel analysis. So T stands for technology. Okay. All right. So let's see the next question. Which of the following companies acquired Blinkit? So mergers and acquisitions, इंडियन स्टार्टअप्स में कौन सी कंपनी का कौन सा स्टार्टअप ओन किया है, ठीक है, कौन किसका फाउंडर है, और रिसेंट मर्जर एक्विजिशन हुए, ऑल दैट यू शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ. So you can expect 2 to 3 questions from Indian startup environment. Okay, so Blinkit is acquired by Zomato. Okay, although it uses its own name. Okay, Zomato, Blinkit अपना नाम Blinkit ही रखता है. It does not say that Zomato is Blinkit. It is acquired by Zomato. When was the notion of an entrepreneur as an inventor established? So theoretical question है. So it this notion came during the mid 20th century. Of course, this has to be some recent development because earlier industrialists were there. ऐसे innovation का concept नहीं होता था. People used to have traditional businesses. So towards mid 20th century, these things changed, and then people started talking about innovation. So as technology grew, this concept came into existence. What is the name of the company owned by Varun and Ghazal Alak? It recently went for IPO also, so you should know this company. Varun and Ghazal Alak. Ghazal Alak, you must be knowing. She comes in the Shark Tank India. So, what is the name of their company? So, the company name is Hunasa Consumer Limited. जो मामा अर्थ है, मामा अर्थ इज नॉट द कंपनी नेम. ठीक है, उसके कई प्रोडक्ट्स हैं जैसे मामा अर्थ है. देर आर सम अदर कंपनीज ऑल्सो. ठीक है, मामा अर्थ इज नॉट द नेम ऑफ द कंपनी. मामा अर्थ इज अ ब्रांड. ठीक है, उसके अंदर उनके अलग अलग ब्रांड्स. एक मामा अर्थ है, देर इज सम सेलॉन ब्रांड ऑल्सो, इन डिफरेंट कॉस्मेटिक ब्रांड्स दे हैव. वन ऑफ देम इज द मोस्ट पॉपुलर इज मामा अर्थ. So the name of the company is Honasa Consumer Limited. It went for IPO recently. Which e-commerce company owns the fintech company PhonePe? Who owns PhonePe? Do you use PhonePe? Some of you might be using, some may not, but I guess most of you must be aware of this. So it is owned by Flipkart. It's a company of Flipkart. Okay, so let's move to the next question. A concise speech in which one introduces a product or a company to investors is called what? हाँ, ultimately Walmart own करता है. Walmart owns Flipkart. Flipkart owns PhonePe. So concise speech, short speech in which one introduces a product or a company to investors. What is it called? Hey, bogus option भी दिया है. There will be some people who might mark this also. The right answer is elevator pitch. So elevator pitch is basically like it depends on, it can be of 30 seconds, 60 seconds, right? It can be like 30, usually 30 seconds to 2 minutes. Within that, you need to introduce your company or product in very short duration. That is called elevator pitch. So generally term kaise bana ki like let's say you are going in an elevator with an investor. Investor does not have much time to listen to you, right? Okay, they are big people, they have a lot of other big tasks to do. So a very short time to catch their attention and tell about your company. So उससे term बना दी कि elevator pitch, you are going in an elevator and within that duration you need to speak. The only time you have to speak is during that phase. This is called elevator pitch. Members of distribution channels are excellent sources for new ideas because of what? So if there are people who are part of business distribution channel. So again, this is a common sense based question which you could answer without even I mean, anyone could read and answer it quite with ease. So they are familiar with the needs of the market. So they understand the market better than the businesses. So they can be a good source of information and new ideas. 80% of consequences come from 20% of the causes. This rule is called what? So theoretical concept in business, and not only in business, it applies to practical life also. Very famous principle. So it basically means that like 20% effort से 80% चीजें आ जाती हैं and rest 20% के लिए आपको 80% effort डालना पड़ता है. It also means that let's say in a company 20% of the people are responsible for 80% of the business, whereas the rest, like, few control the majority and vice versa. Okay, 80-20 is just a number. It is not fixed कि 80-20 ही होता है, and it can be 90-10 also. But the thing is, minority controls majority, and it applies to different walks of life. It is a very famous principle known as Pareto principle. Okay. Okay, let's see the next question. Which of the following is not included in the opportunity evaluation process? So, opportunity evaluation here refers to business opportunity evaluation. So, when you're about evaluating an opportunity, length of the opportunity is not important. Okay, so why isn't it important? It is important. Let's say COVID came. Okay, so there were some business opportunities which arose, but some of them were short-term opportunities. Like अगर किसी को लंबा कोई ऐसे बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना है, ओके, और वो सोच रहे कि अरे ये तो शॉर्ट टर्म अपॉर्चुनिटी है, ठीक है, मे बी इट मे नॉट वर्क. सो लेंथ ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी हैज टू बी मेजर्ड. Let's say if you're starting a business, you must think of ki, for how long this business can survive. Like what if some new technology comes up and it eats away the market? Okay, so length of opportunity is important. Like for example, like I run an educational venture, right? So I know the length of opportunity is infinite, right? Every year exams will happen, right? Every year people will prepare for the exams. So that is infinite. For some businesses it might be short, right? अगर कल के दिन कुछ हो गया, I mean they might run out of the business, right? So length of opportunity is important. Real and perceived value of an opportunity, you need to understand that what you perceive and what is the actual value of that thing. So that is also important. Risk and reward is important. Goals and objectives of customers is not important while evaluating the opportunity. Yeah, that is not. That's a separate measurement. Is not evaluating the opportunity. इसे तो आप वैसे भी कर सकते थे ना, तीन चीजों में अपॉर्चुनिटी आ रहा है, एक में अपॉर्चुनिटी से रिलेटेड कोई बात ही नहीं हो रहा. Okay, next question. Which edtech firm once valued at $22 billion has now lost over 99% of its valuation? So this तो I guess if such a question comes, 4 marks तो सभी को मिल जाएंगे. Yes, Byju's is the right answer. Okay, they have almost shut down their business, right on the verge of shutting down the business. Which of the following does not form intellectual property? IPR के भी काफी क्वेश्चन कर दिए हमने. So we've almost in this video I've almost covered everything which is required for this thing. फिजिक्स वाला कहाँ से टाइम आ रहा है? अभी तो फिजिक्स वाला इज इन द ग्रोइंग स्टेज, राइट? दे आर डूइंग decent. Does not form intellectual property, right? So which you cannot. Trademarks can be protected, patents, copyright, tangible assets like company का लैपटॉप है, that is not intellectual property, right? उसके अंदर जो डेटा है that is intellectual property, but that laptop or furniture, right, those are not intellectual property. So easy question to answer. Which of the following is a common barrier to innovation? So common barrier to innovation. Let's evaluate the options. Lack of resources. Lack of resources there, but does not prevent you from innovation. Maybe you can do it at a small scale. Okay, you can do. Government regulation is a barrier, right? If the government puts ban on certain things, and you cannot innovate in that, so that is a barrier. Too much competition is never a barrier, and you can still do innovation. Lack of customer demand, like you innovate and create demand, so innovation cannot be impacted by these, but government regulations can impact innovation because you may not be openly thinking of new product or ideas. Who is the founder of Mintra? So कुछ कुछ जो इंडियन स्टार्टअप्स हैं सर, just know about their founders and all, कि जो कॉमनली सुनने में आता है, आपको जितने जितने कॉमन आपको स्टार्टअप्स के नाम पता है, जस्ट रीड कौन किसका फाउंडर है. राइट आंसर इज मुकेश बंसल. ठीक है, ये दोनों किसके? फ्लिपकार्ट के. एट बिन्नी बंसल अब हट गया, स्टार्टेड फ्लिपकार्ट. So I hope you are enjoying this session. So please do like this video. So we are still many more questions remaining. Let's move to the next question. Which institution launched Fincluvation to encourage startups to develop financial products? So India is like it really does good in this field called fintech. ठीक है, fintech में काफी अच्छा कर रहा है. So in order to promote financial products, or you would say the fintech companies, government launched this scheme called Fincluvation. It was launched by IPPB, India Postponement Bank. So government schemes are important, and we have covered some of the government schemes here. It is by IPPB. Which of the following is a key factor in determining the value of a startup? How do you determine the value of a startup? Like, what are the key factors? And which of these is a key factor, in fact? Why do people say them that these are good startups or hot startups? So when we talk about the startup, the main thing is potential for growth. By startup definition itself means that it is a high growth potential company which can become very large very soon, and that's why people talk about startups. Right, this is going to be the next big business, etc. So that is the important factor in a startup. Which of the following is an example of a social enterprise? So social enterprise are basically the ones which have a positive impact, okay, which generally have a positive impact on the society, and they have usually non-profit. Okay, their motive is to the motive is not to make a huge. Usually businesses का motive क्या होता है? Profit बनाना, right? Social enterprise will make some profit. ऐसा भी नहीं कि घाटे में चलेंगे, right? They will have some profit, but the main motive is not profit. The main motive is to basically create a positive social impact. It could be like uplifting the poverty, and it could be education related to care of old people. Okay, it could be some environmental company also. NGOs jo hote hain, these are called social enterprises, right? NGOs and all those, the ones which work for the upliftment of people. So a non-profit organization that provides job training is a social enterprise. Who owns the business and employment focused social media platform LinkedIn? So big mergers and acquisitions, LinkedIn किसका है? Amazon, Google, Microsoft और Meta? Do you use LinkedIn? How many of you follow me on LinkedIn? So LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft. Okay. Well, let's see the next question. Which of the following is a common method of market research? Now that was a knowledge-based question. This is so. If I have to classify the kind of questions, there are some knowledge-based questions, some theory-based questions which are boring. Some would be common sense-based questions. Like जैसे ये common sense-based है. Okay, so common method of market research is surveys. You take survey of people, you understand their needs, right, and then decide to create some product or service. Which of the following is a common form of innovation in the service industry? Common form of innovation in the service industry. So you have you understand services industries, right? So hospitality, okay, that's a service industry. Education is a service industry. Healthcare, all these are service industries, wherein you are not selling any such like food and beverages, F&B, hotels, and all these are service industry, right? So what is a common form of innovation? So usually in these you have process innovation. You change the process, you optimize the process. That is a common form of innovation. Supply chain usually product based में होगा ना, product जहाँ पे ज़्यादा होगा. So service, it is about improving the process. So let's say airline industry. Airline is a service industry, right? So they improve the process. Like check-in वहाँ improve कर दिया. Like when you go to the airport, earlier you used to go to the check-in counters. Now they have put those self check-in devices, right? So all these industries improve the process. Which of the following is a common form of entrepreneurship? Again, an easy question to answer. Expect all of you to answer it correctly. और the ones who have been watching it from the beginning, तो आप लास्ट में कैलकुलेट कर लेना आपके 100 में से कितने क्वेश्चन आए हुए. These are total 100 questions. In just in one video, it will help you revise the entire subject. और बहुत ज़्यादा ऐसे ठीक है, मतलब एक पढ़ लिया, फोकस बाकी तीन सेक्शन में रखना, बिकॉज इसमें सभी के एक ऑन एन एवरेज ठीक ठाक मार्क्स आ जाते हैं. So, a form of entrepreneurship, franchising is also considered as a form of entrepreneurship, right? If you take a franchisee of things, right, you run it at your own level. It's just that you are using their product, their service, but you own that business. Investing is also a form of entrepreneurship. Like if you invest in a company, you have hold a stake in that company. Okay, and generally people give guidance to the companies also. If consulting is a form of entrepreneurship. All of these are different forms of entrepreneurship. Okay. The strategy of creating and capturing uncontested market space, thereby making a competition irrelevant, is called what? So it's a business strategy in which you enter into a market which is an uncontested space. So basically, no competitor exists in that business, and it's a very rare thing to have. What is it called? So this strategy is called blue ocean strategy. Like if you think of something very new, some novel thing, and there is uncontested space. ठीक है पूरा ओशियन आपका है ब्लू ओशियन that like from that term logical किस तरह से derive होगा that I'm telling. Blue ocean strategy means that if you're running some business or you enter into some business space where there is no competition, that is called blue ocean strategy. Red ocean strategy is opposite. It means intense competition. So these are two types of strategy: blue ocean and red ocean. रेड ओशन स्ट्रेटेजी में आपको बहुत सारी चीजें करनी पड़ती है लाइक से आपको मार्केटिंग एग्रेसिवली करनी पड़ेगी यू नीड टू वर्क ऑन operations मैनेजमेंट you need to work on cost optimization lot of things you need to work upon to beat the competition but blue ocean strategies you have the monopoly but it is very rare to adopt. Which country will host Startup 20 in 2024? So, global event Startup 20. Startup 2020, which country will host it? Acha, have you heard of G20? G20 का नाम सुना है? सुना ही होगा G20 जीके के पर्सपेक्टिव से पढ़ लेना. Which country will host G20 in 2024? UAE होगा host. G20 is going to be hosted by Brazil. ठीक है सो स्टार्टअप 2020 भी वही कंट्री होस्ट करता है जो G20 होस्ट करता है सो इट स्टार्टेड इन 2023 started in 2023 in India. So if you remember, like last year G20 was held. अगर आप में से कोई जीके पढ़ता होगा न्यूज ध्यान रखता होगा G20 सितंबर में हुआ था Before that, a lot of events were held in India, isn't it? There were a lot of events that were held in India related to G20, right? Technology 20 or other events. So one of those important events was Startup 20 also. So Startup 2020 was Startup not 2020 Startup 20 was held for the very first time in 2023. From now onward, every year, wherever G20 is held, that country will host Startup 20 also. So Brazil will hold it in 2024. Okay, so this year in July, they are going to have this Startup 2020. Okay, all right. So let's move to the next question. Which in which city did Multiplex chain PVR Limited open its first property after its merger with Inox Leisure Limited? So PVR and Inox were two separate entities. Now they have merged to PVR Inox Cinemas. ऐसे करके कुछ शायद नाम है इनका. Now they are a merged entity. पहले दो कंपनीज थी मर्ज होके एक बन गई है Inox and PVR. So where did they open their first joint venture, this multiplex? So it was in Indore. Okay, last year merged with it, so they opened their first property in Indore after merger. Bijon Nag, who passed away recently, was the founder and chairman of which company? You know, this could be asked in GK also. They do ask about yet obituaries. So Bijon Nag, he passed away recently. He was the founder of which of these companies? Founder and chairman. So the right answer is IFB. Okay, you must have heard of this company. Have you heard of this IFB? नाम नहीं पता, ये नहीं पता होगा, बट IFB कंपनी तो नाम सुनी होगी. IFB, इसकी वॉशिंग मशीन आती है, किचन अप्लायंसेस आते हैं. ओके, so he was the founder of this company. Which actress is an early investor and the brand ambassador of Mamaearth? Early investor in Mamaearth. So we talked about this company Honasa. Okay, who is the early investor in this company? So it is Shilpa Shetty Kundra. And she made several crores when its IPO happened. Yeah, so she's the brand ambassador. Apart from that, they have recently hired this lady called Samantha. Samantha Prabhu is also recently she was made the brand ambassador. Okay, but she's like Shilpa Shetty is an investor also in the company. Okay, so about Indian startups who are the brand ambassadors, founders, etc. Amit Jain is the CEO and co-founder of which company? जो शार्क टैंक इंडिया देखता होगा वो सभी बता देंगे. Yes, the right answer is कार देखो. ये जो शार्क टैंक्स वाली कंपनी है वो देख लेना एक बार. तो शार्क टैंक का मैच द फॉलोइंग आ गया था. आई रिमेम्बर जब पहली बार IND इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ था. In that paper, they asked that match the startup founders, and they all those were like जैसे शुगर कॉस्मेटिक्स का कौन है ये सब पूछा था, लेंस कार्ड एंड ऑल. बोट आई गेस ऐसा कुछ आया हुआ था. Innovation can best be defined as dash. How would you define innovation? Exploitation. Yes, that is the right answer. So, evolution of new ideas is not innovation, right? Ideas can come from anyone. Okay. Opposite of creativity is false. Innovation does require creativity. Generation of new ideas. See, many people can give you ideas. Like if you ask some people कि कोई business idea बताओ, lot of people will have business ideas. ठीक है, कोई चलते फिरते बता देगा ये business कर लो, इसमें बहुत पैसे हैं. आजकल बहुत सारे reels भी बनाता है. ठीक है, there are some people who will say कि 100 business ideas ये वो ऐसा business idea करो इससे ये हो जाएगा. Right? Content creators also they are in the field. Right? They are telling you business ideas. ठीक है. इट इज इजी टू गिव ज्ञान. ठीक है, कोई भी बोल दे ये कर लो वो कर लो ऐसे हो जाएगा. ये ज्ञान देना बहुत आसान है आज के डेट में. सो दैट इज नॉट इनोवेशन. इनोवेशन इज सक्सेसफुल एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ऑफ न्यू आइडियाज. यू गॉट अ न्यू आइडिया, यू सक्सेसफुली इंट्रोड्यूस इट, राइट, एंड एग्जीक्यूट इट. दैट इज इनोवेशन. आइडियाज तो किसी को भी आ सकते हैं. अनलेस यू एक्सप्लॉइट द आइडिया, यूज इट, दैट इज नॉट कॉल्ड इनोवेशन. The integration of various entities engaged in different stages of distribution chain is called. Integration of various entities of distribution chain. Now, here we are introducing a couple of important points. Okay, a couple of two terms. One is horizontal integration and vertical integration. Okay. Vertical integration में क्या होता है? You acquire the entire supply chain. So these are two kinds of acquisitions. In one, you acquire the entire chain, like especially like retailers, wholesaler, distributor, manufacturer, supplier, सब आपके हो गए. So that is called vertical integration. Okay, various entities engaged in different stages of distribution or basically supply chain. That is called vertical integration. Okay. Horizontal integration means that if you are a retailer, you acquire another retailer. If you are a wholesaler, you acquire another wholesaler. Okay. So if you merge, if two businesses from same level merge, that is called horizontal integration. दो manufacturer आपस में merge हो गए, right? So that is called horizontal integration. Vertical integration is all stages of a production are acquired by the same company. That is called vertical integration. Okay, so two good terms. Definition आपको पता चली. So as per it, the answer is vertical integration. Okay, so in case you are preparing for CMAT and are looking for mock tests, we are providing mock tests for CMAT, and one of the tests is free. You can take this test and evaluate yourself. How is your preparation for the exam? Well, let's move to the next question. Again, something from Indian startup environment. Nikhil Kamath is the co-founder of which of the following fintech companies? So, I guess इतने सारे फाउंडर कर दिए, किसी न किसी का तो क्वेश्चन आना चाहिए. Listen, in just one class, you got to know what are the important things to study for the exam, and like a lot of informative things as well. Okay, so Nikhil Kamath and Nitin Kamath, they are founders of Zerodha, one of the prominent fintech companies in India. The use of informal networks by entrepreneurs to gather information is called what? Like if you use your like informal methods to gather information about certain thing, what is it called? This thing is called entrepreneurial networking. So when you use your own network to gather information through your friends and other sources, that is called entrepreneur networking. Okay, next question. Kleiner Perkins is a venture capitalist firm based in which country? So another term which I would like to another thing which I would like you to study is about top VC companies. ये आपको गूगल में मिल जाएगा टॉप वीसी कंपनीज। इनके नाम पूछ सकते हैं कौन सी कंट्री से ऐसे पूछा जा सकता है। सो टॉप वीसी कंपनीज एक तो ग्लोबल लेवल पे और इंडियन लेवल पे। टू रीड अबाउट देम आल्सो top VCs or apart from that accelerators, top accelerators and incubators। ठीक है इन सब की लिस्ट देख लेना आपको मिल जाएंगे कंपनीज के लिस्ट 8-10 नाम देख लेना। ओके सो क्लाइनेट पर्किंस इज अ यूएस बेस्ड कंपनी। So there will be some questions which most of the people won't be able to answer. So इनोवेशन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एक ऐसा सब्जेक्ट है जिसमें एक रेंज ऑफ स्कोर्स ही रहता है। ऐसा नहीं कि एक बिल्कुल ही कम ला रहा है बहुत ही ज्यादा ला रहा है। एक पर्टिकुलर रेंज में ला रहा है। लेट्स से 10-12 तो सभी के सही हो जाते हैं ऑलमोस्ट सारे सीरियस एस्पिरेंट के। एक 10-12 से लेके 17-18 तक रेंज 2-3 क्वेश्चन से होंगे जो कोई भी अटेम्प्ट नहीं कर पाएगा। एन एंटरप्रेन्योर हु ओन्स मोर देन वन बिजनेस एट अ टाइम इज कॉल्ड व्हाट? So if an entrepreneur runs multiple businesses at the same time, what is that entrepreneur called? So that entrepreneur is called a that's a portfolio entrepreneur. So if you have multiple businesses running at the same time, let's say for example Elon Musk, ठीक है Elon Musk बहुत सारी companies एक साथ चलाता है right, at the same time, and if you look at this example like Bhavesh Agarwal, Ola wala, so he runs all the companies, 3 companies he's running. Okay, so that is called portfolio entrepreneur. An entrepreneur in the hosiery business found out the reason his hosiery was not selling was due to its color. What could be the best source of this information? So this is a common sense based question. Okay, you can use some basic knowledge and answer this question easily. So if a person comes to know that a particular cloth color is not selling, or where would that person get knowledge of it? Okay, so that will be from retailers. So retailers give you the knowledge, right? They know the actual market demand. So they give you the knowledge that this is the reason that why your products are not selling. Dash is primarily concerned with the identification, qualification, and evaluation of the project resources. Theoretical question है. So identification, qualification, evaluation of project, it is called feasibility analysis. Right? You try to find out whether something is feasible or not. You identify, qualify, evaluate also. That is called feasibility. Okay. A promoter is a person who, this is a good question, okay, which many people might get it wrong. Who is a promoter? सो अगर आप ऑप्शन डी कर रहे हो तो वही कॉमन गलती जो मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल वुड डू. Promoter is not someone who promotes a company. Like definition wise नहीं है. वो नहीं लेना है जो literal meaning नहीं लेना है promoter का. Right? Promoter is basically the person who takes parts in the incorporation of a company. जो कंपनी की स्टार्टिंग में जो फाउंडर्स होते हैं ना, those are called promoters of a company. That's a technical term used for a company. That's promoter. Okay, director may be joining later also. Okay, not necessary that, see, every promoter will be a director, but not every director is a promoter. आप क्वांट में क्वेश्चन करते हो ना, ए एंड बी स्टार्टेड अ कंपनी एंड बी इन्वेस्टेड इन लेटर ऐसे करके, तो ए और बी जो स्टार्ट करते हैं दोज आर कॉल्ड प्रोमोटर्स. जो बाद में आता है मे बी अ डायरेक्टर, मे और मे नॉट बी अ डायरेक्टर, बट द पीपल हु स्टार्ट अ कंपनी दे आर कॉल्ड प्रोमोटर्स. जो स्टार्टिंग में जब कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेट होती है, people who start is called promoter. Okay, so good term to know. Which of the following is India's first non-alcoholic beer company? So some startups which have like could we ask questions like these, wherein some new sort of product is being developed, new product launch, etc. So heard of this? Yes, Kohlberg is the right answer. Okay, next question. One of the disadvantages of a franchisee business for a franchisee is dash. So this is again a question which I would say a common sense based question. You can apply your common sense, common business sense to answer this question. What could be a disadvantage of a franchisee? So if you have a franchisee, what is the disadvantage that you have? Like you are taking, suppose आपने कोई किसी रेस्टोरेंट की फ्रेंचाइजी ले ली, ठीक है, some popular food chain, you took a franchise. What is the disadvantage? There is lack of independence. ठीक है, because you have to follow their rules and regulations and all the processes, etc. Right? Although you get that brand name, brand identity, so that is an advantage, right? You get a brand identity. Okay, a high failure rate not necessary, that's a subjective sentence. Training is not training is provided, right? It is opposite. Training is usually given. They will train you everything, they will train you about everything कि कैसे आपको product बेचने हैं, right? They will tell you about the strategies, etc. Yeah, but the disadvantage is lack of independence. You are not independent. Okay, a key aspect of the financial section of the business plan is, now again, something with common business sense you can answer. Financial section of business plan. What would be the key aspects? Statement of management skills? No. Realistic sales forecast? Isn't it? Like when you talk about financial part, so which of these is related to finance? Right? Production capacity is related to operations. Description of competitors? No. So the realistic sales forecast would be a, like you will, like when you're creating a business plan, you will create that, okay, this could be the realistic sales that we can make. So that is a financial aspect. What was the earlier name of the laptop brand Dynabook? ये easy होगा. Dynamo. Have you heard of this company, Dynamo? या नाम ही नहीं सुना है. So there used to be like अगर Dynamo नहीं सुना होगा, you must have heard of this company Toshiba. ये इसके लैपटॉप आते हैं and other electric appliances, electronic appliances also. So they've changed their name to Dynabook. ठीक है, the laptop brand. एंड बाकी इसको तो आप वैसे भी गेस कर सकते हैं बाय एलिमिनेशन, क्योंकि एसस डेल लेनोवो इनके अभी भी लैपटॉप आते हैं. अगर आपने रिसेंटली किसी ने लैपटॉप परचेस किया होगा, आपने नाम सुने ही होंगे, राइट. तोशिबा पहले नाम था, नाउ दे हैव चेंज टू डायनाबुक. Okay, let's move to the next question. A company is called an artificial person because. So company is an artificial person. Why do we call it an artificial person? So company is called, no, not because it is invisible and intangible. That is not the answer. The right answer, it exists only in contemplation of law. Okay, legally a company exists. Like company is treated like a person. If a company defaults or does any like company पे case हो सकता है, right? जो भी चीजें एक person पे हो सकती है, ठीक है, legally सारी चीजें company के साथ भी हो सकती है, right? Like you can file a case against a company. Okay, if a company defaults, it has to pay fines. Okay, so it just exists in the contemplation of law. The activity which occurs when the new venture is started is called what? So if a new venture starts, the activity which takes place has a certain name. What is it called? So when a company starts, right, it is called departure point. So departure point is the point of starting of the company. जिस दिन से start होती है, that is known as departure point. Okay, next thing, which one of the following is the most important characteristic of a successful business website? Easy question. I mean, more of a logical question than a knowledge based question. If you have a business website, what should be the most important characteristic? Why do you like some websites? Why do you dislike some websites? Why do people hate IRCTC? क्यों बनते हैं उस पर जॉब? मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग फॉर वेबसाइट इज स्पीड. ठीक है, बाकी चीजें इररिलेवेंट है. ग्राफिक्स अच्छे नहीं भी होंगे कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है, एवरेज ग्राफिक्स भी चलेंगे, बहुत कूल दिखना नेसेसरी नहीं, बट इफ यूर अ बिजनेस वेबसाइट, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक इज स्पीड. अगर धीरे लोड होगी, चेकआउट में बहुत टाइम लगेगा, पीपल विल move away from your website. So if you are having a business website, it should have a very good speed. Okay, that is the most important feature. The process of taking up a second job or multiple other work assignments apart from one's full-time job is termed as what? This also like was quite popularly used term in news. काफी बार आपने न्यूज में सुना होगा ये term. Taking multiple jobs at a time. And there were some companies which took action also against this. Like when you take multiple jobs at a time, it is called moonlighting. When companies sell shares to investors to raise capital, it is called dash financing. टीसीएस में ही बहुत सारी कंपनीज, बहुत सारी आईटी कंपनीज में होता है ऐसे मून लाइटिंग के केस. When you use when you sell shares of the company to investors, what is it called? So basically, if we talk about the financing of a company, there are two ways, right? One is equity, one is debt. So equity is when you sell shares of the company, when you share the like sell a part of the company to others, that is called equity financing. ठीक है, आप कह रहे हो कि आप इन्वेस्टर से पैसा ले रहे हो, आप उसके बदले उसे कंपनी का पोर्शन दे रहे हो, सो दैट इज कॉल्ड इक्विटी. डेट इज व्हेन यू टेक लोन फ्रॉम अ बैंक, फ्रॉम एनबीएफसी और फ्रॉम अदर इन्वेस्टर्स. सो लोन पे आप इंटरेस्ट देते हो, ठीक है, उसमें कोई ऐसा आपको इक्विटी शेयर नहीं देना पड़ता. बट व्हेन यू टेक इक्विटी फ्रॉम अ इन्वेस्टर, लाइक व्हेन यू टेक money in return, you give them share of the company, that is called equity. Now this is like what I meant by reading those few examples. Sequoia Capital, Excel, Anderson Horowitz, and Tiger Global are examples of what? So these are all VC firms. These are the most prominent VC firms of the world. Which group has recently acquired a 35% stake in MG Motor India? Which group has acquired stake in MG Motor India? So it is JSW Group, Jindal Steel Works जो group है, they've acquired stake in MG Motor. IPO stands for. So IPO stands for initial public offering. It is the time when a company comes to the share market for the very first time. Reliance Industries Limited has recently merged with which OTT platform? So Reliance Industries, they acquired, not acquired, they merged with one of the OTT platforms, and it was recently news. Okay, so all these recent events are of importance. So it is Disney plus Hotstar. So now a Geo Cinema Hotstar they merged together. So they have Reliance does a lot of business deals every year. Okay, a lot of mergers, a lot of acquisitions. Okay, so yes, Disney plus Hotstar is correct. Okay, so in case you are preparing for CMAT and are looking for mock tests, we are providing mock tests for CMAT. There is a free test also. You can take it and evaluate yourself for the examination. So this was this marathon session, which consisted of 100 questions. So those who watched the entire session, do let me know in the comments that how did you find the session? How many questions were you able to answer correctly? Like अगर आप 80-85% भी answer सही कर लेते हो, that's a good enough score. Okay, so it consists of certain set of question types. तो जो जो हमने चीजें कवर की, like current affairs, इंडियन स्टार्टअप एनवायरनमेंट, इंडियन स्टार्टअप के फाउंडर्स, ठीक है, एंड बिजनेस स्कीम्स, सम थ्योरी रिलेटेड टू इनोवेशन, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, आईपी राइट्स, ठीक है, these intellectual property, some basics of business management, etc. So these are all the topics that are tested in IND. Okay, and like as I said that डोंट वरी टू मच अबाउट इट. इसमें अगर आपकी ठीक है बिजनेस अवेयरनेस ठीक है, थोड़ा बहुत करंट अफेयर्स पता है, इंडियन स्टार्टअप्स के बारे में पता है, एंड दीज गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स यू कवर, you should be able to do fine in this. Okay, so still the focus should be in the other three sections. Those are the most important ones because there it is like the differentiator, still the differentiator. Okay, so that's for this session. I hope you enjoyed this session. So please don't forget to like this video and follow the channel for more content, upcoming content for CMAT and other exams. Thanks everyone for watching it. Good night.